On killing a tree, you must have observed people cutting down trees. But can they kill a tree? Is it easy to do so? Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves.
In this stanza, the poet states how a tree is to be cut. He says that a simple jab of the knife will not kill a tree. It is not easy to cut down a tree because the tree has grown slowly, consuming the earth. It has firmly established itself into the earth's crust, feeding and absorbing its powerful elements. Years of absorption of sunlight, air, and water from which the earth has made its growth so perfect that a jab can't kill it. The leaves shall sprout again after its leprous hide, and the jab won't do any harm to it. Here, leprous hide means discolored bark.
So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which, if unchecked, will expand again to former size.
In this stanza, the poet continues with its ironic tone as to how a tree is to be killed completely. The poet says that cutting with heavy blows and cutting to pieces, the tree will not be killed. The bark that oozes out its sap like the blood shall soon heal, and from close to the ground the curling twigs shall sprout again. Hacking and chopping would definitely cause pain to the tree, but the wound will soon heal up. The fighting spirit of the tree shall soon revive its full strength, and the tree shall assume its original form with new leaves and small boughs. The tree shall be full-sized again, as it was before being cut or killed. Therefore, it is not easy to kill a tree with these measures.
No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely, out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth.
In the earlier stanzas, the poet stated various methods adopted by the humans to kill a tree, but it grew to its own size. Now, in this stanza, the poet has come out with another technique as to how to kill it completely. The poet says that if one intends to kill the tree completely, one must pull its root out of the anchoring earth that holds it tight. The root needs to be roped, tied, and pulled out. It must be snapped out or entirely pulled out from the inside of the earth. Doing so will finish the complete strength of the tree, and it will start decaying. Very soon it will be dead. The poet continues to tell the process of killing a tree. If its root is pulled out by roping and pulling out, its strength will be snapped from its source. The root shall look white and wet. Exposed to the sun and air, the white root shall not survive and shall soon start decaying. It is the most sensitive part of a tree. It is actually the life-giving part of the tree hidden inside the earth. When it is exposed, it is the beginning of the tree's ultimate death.
Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done.
In this stanza, the poet is describing the final processes of the killing of a tree. When the root of the tree is pulled out and is exposed to the sun and air, the sun starts drying it up with its burning heat. The root starts getting choked and dying. Heat makes the root brown, which was white earlier and now is hardened by the drying up of its moisture. Its color is now brown and it starts twisting in its state of decaying and withering. This is the actual end of the tree. This ironical treatment of the poet is a big taunt to the people who never value the trees in the ecological balance of nature that nurtures all living beings. Inversely, the poet exerts that trees need to be respected and planted in as many numbers as possible. The title, Killing a Tree, may mean many things. First, it may mean that a job once begun must be taken to its ultimate end with all the force at one's command. Here, the poet gives another example. Tree is big, and perhaps for the poet, he is the symbol of a big enemy. When we fight a big, deep-rooted enemy, we have to work hard. This deep-rooted enemy needn't be a living creature. This may signify our evil desires, which are deep-rooted in our heart. Very often, we think we have killed them, but they raise their heads whenever there is a slight opportunity. These evil desires must be uprooted with all our force so that their strength is exposed, and then we will win them over. Finally, let us see the theme of the poem. The theme of the poem is how to complete a job. A half-done job is as bad as not done at all. If we want to finish a tree, we must uproot it. Cutting the limbs alone will not do. The lesson is that a great task needs a great deal of hard work. One must be prepared for it. For example, if we want to understand a book, a simple reading of a few pages will not do. We have to read it entirely, underline the important passages, and try to understand what the author means to say. It is not enough to grasp a book by reading it once. We may have to read it again and again to grasp it fully.